Hi boys and girls, welcome back. Today in math, we're going to be learning how to use 10 frames to add, okay? We're going to dab a little bit. We're going to use 10 frames to add, and we're going to dab a little bit into subtraction as well, how to use 10 frames to model a subtraction fact as well. So the title of our lesson is going to be using 10 frames to add. And when we think about this concept, we think about if I have a number sentence 9 plus 7, I have to think in my head, how can I use 10 frames to model how to add 9 plus 7 to find the sum? And then 2, when I do use the 10 frames, what is the easiest way to make a 10 and to finish count and then to help me count on, okay? So when you're adding, a good way of helping you remember your addition facts or a good way of helping you add quicker is to find as many ways to quickly make the number 10. Because if you have 10 plus a number, like 10 plus 2, it's easier for you to think in here, 12. 10 plus 7, 17. It'll be easier that way, okay? So today, I'm going to do a couple problems where we're going to model how to use a tens frame to add. And then you're going to try a couple of them. And I'll teach you how to make our 10 frames. I know we're doing online learning and we're away from school. So we don't have the actual 10 frame, which will make our lives a lot easier because they'll be already pre-made for us and easy to do. But Ms. Barnes is going to show you how to do it. And this is just another strategy you can use to help you find the answer to an addition problem. So find the sum, okay? So sometimes you may get stuck on, maybe you get stuck, you don't know what 9 plus 7 is. We've been using the counters to help us find the sum. Today we're going to use the 10 frames, and then tomorrow we're going to dab into using a number line. And with the number line, I'm going to teach you how to add and how to subtract. But let's go ahead with this problem. So I have this problem displayed, 9 plus 7 equals blank. So in order to use the 10 frames, the first thing I will do, if you notice, a 10 frame looks, it looks like to me like a cookie sheet or a cake pan rose or something. That's how I can describe it. But basically, all 10 frames usually has two rows. So 1 row, 2 rows, and each row has 5 boxes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the bottom row is the same amount, and it has 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we do know by doubles, 5 plus 5, we know that equals 10. So that's where they get the name 10 frames from, okay? Because each one of them is 10. So I have 2 10 frames here. And if I just look at it and not getting ready to put any counters in there, if I know this is 10, I fill this up as 10. 10 plus 10 is 20. So if this is all full, it lets me know quickly in my mind, I can visually see, I got 2 10 frames. Each 10 frame is full. Each 10 frame is worth 10. So 10 plus 10 is 20. So it'll help me easily and visually count and find the sum. So when it comes to this problem, 9 plus 7. To fill out your 10th frame, what you would do, normally in school we will have already 10th frame made out for you, or they're laid flat out on our tables or desks. And then Ms. Barnhart gives you all different color counters and stuff. And then we just use the counters to place it, and we just use one counter to put in each box. But unfortunately, since we're online, we're going to have to draw it out. So Ms. Barnhart's going to model how to do that. And just like when we was using the counters to add, we had 2 different colors. You're also going to have 2 different colors, okay? So I'm going to start out with 9 plus 7. So I'm just going to draw out 9 counters. I'm going to do it in 1 10th frame, and I'm going to count out 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? So I can see I have 9. I know this 10th frame is worth 10. I have 1 spot left. Now, I need to add the number 7, the added in or partner number 7. I can put all 7 over here and then figure out how to make a 10 easy and quickly and then add on. But because I know I have 1 more spot here, I'm just going to go ahead and start out counting by ones till I get to 7. So I'll start here. So that is 1. And I got a different color marker. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if I want to check to make sure I have drawn out the correct number, it's easy for me to see it because one, I'm using two different colored markers or crayons, okay? So I want to make sure I have 7 counters before I add. So let me double check. I have 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now I have 7 and I modeled out 9. So now I can go ahead and count. Well, I know that this whole 10 frames is already filled out. So I know automatically without having to count it that this is going to equal 10. Because one 10 frame that's completely filled, there's only 10 spots in there, lets me know that there is 10 there. But I can double check to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I can visually see that it's filled out, so that has 10. And then over here, this isn't all filled out, so I got to count and see. I'm going to count on to see how many total I have. So I have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 9 plus 7 equals 16. And I found the sum using a tens frame, okay? So let's try that again. I'm going to erase over here. And I'm going to try to gently erase each of these without having to draw it over and over. Because I'm going to do a couple of them with you. And then I'm going to show you how to draw your tens frames, okay? And then we'll do a couple together. Okay? So the problem I'm going to write down this time will be eight plus 11 will equal blank. Okay, so now I want to find out what's 8 plus 11. So I'm going to start out by modeling my first add, and I can actually start out and model my second add. It doesn't matter which order, because remember, the commutative property says we can flip the digits, flip the addends around, and our sum will stay the same. So it doesn't matter which one that you want to do first in your tens frame, okay? I just like to do whatever number is written first so that I make sure I and represent each number. Sometimes if we have 3 or more numbers, it gets confusing for me sometimes, or get confused for others. So I'm going to go right here and show 8 counters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I have to show 11 counters, okay? So I have 2 spots left here. Again, I can start over here, fill this all up, and then move over. But it's just easier for me to start from where I left off at and count, okay? Or add counters. So I'm going to add 11 counters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right? So 11 was a big number. So let me count and make sure I added on 11 before I go and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I represented 8 and I represented 11. Now I'm going to look at my tens frame and I automatically notice that this is already filled up. So this is 10 right here, okay? Then I look over here and notice that I almost have 10, but I'm missing 1 spot. So if I take 1 away from 10, 10 minus 1, without having to count all these, that lets me know that there's 9 of these here. And then I can visually see 10 plus 9 equals 19. But let me count and double check to make sure I'm correct, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So therefore, 8 plus 11 equals 19, okay? And I just visually seen that because I know if this was filled up, that would have been 10 plus 10 is 20. But one less, because there's one missing, one less than 20 would be 19. So a tens frame helps you quickly visually see and helps you visually see and helps you mentally add in your head without having to count on your fingers. Our goal is to move away from counting on our fingers, okay? So let's go ahead, and I'm going to erase the whole thing. And this is where you're going to help out. This is where you're going to try, okay? So you're going to need your paper, pencil, and crayons. But at this moment, we're going to use a pencil to draw out our 10 frames, just in case we make a mistake, okay? And it's not going to be perfect, but we're going to try our best to get it as neat as possible. When we're doing math, neatness is very important, because if you have stuff on top of each other, you tend to miscount or get the wrong answer. So if you try to stay as organized as possible in math and be as neat as possible, it'll help you find your answer quicker and you'll understand the concept quicker. So to do a tens frame, we're going to draw. Hold on, the marker wasn't working. You're going to draw a line across. And notice, I didn't take up my whole board, okay? I just drew a line like a little medium length. I don't know how the best way to describe it, okay? And then on this left side, I'm going to draw a line down. And I'm not drawing a line all the way down my paper. I just drew a line down, maybe 2 or 3 lines, okay? And yours is easier on notebook paper because you can trace your lines, okay? So on your first line, you just draw across, and then you'll have a middle line here, and then you'll have a line down here. Okay, so then I'm going to come over and I'm going to draw another line down. And I have some space. I can probably fit 3 fingers in my space neatly without touching the lines, okay? So if that helps you draw your lines, you can do that. So I'll do 3 fingers and draw the second line down, okay? So now I drew 1 line down, 2 lines down, 3 lines down, okay? Let's draw the 4th line down. Let's draw the 5th line down. And then we're going to draw the last line down to close it out. Okay? Then we're going to close the bottom. And notice my bottom looks kind of sloppy. Looks like there's some left over because some lines are a little bit longer than other. I'm just going to take my pencil and erase under it, okay? No big deal, okay? And then I'm going to try to find the middle. For you, you may have a line that's already in the middle if you use the lines to help you trace. So I'm going to draw a line across the middle. So there we have our first 10 frames. I'm going to come over and do it again, okay? Ready? Let's do it again. Draw a line over, not too big, not too long, but it should fit next to it, okay? And then we're going to draw a line down on the side. And we're going to try to keep it the same length as the other tens frame. So I drew 1 line down. You can use your 3 fingers again. Draw a line down. That's the second line I drew straight down. Use your 3 fingers again. Draw another line down. Use your 3 fingers again. You're going to draw a 3rd line down. Or 4th line down. Use your 3 fingers again. Draw another line down. And then finally use your 3 fingers again and draw your last line down on this side, okay? And that's what it should look like. And then we're going to close it out by just drawing a line to connect all the lines that we drew down. And again, if we have that little extra space at the bottom, just use your eraser and just erase it, okay? No big deal, okay? And then I'm going to go over and I'm going to try to draw a line right through the middle again. And there we have our tens frame, okay? Now, with the tens frame, we are going to try to solve. Let me see. Six plus 14. Let's do that today. 6 plus 14. So you can write that number sentence above it or under your 10 frame. Because we should have wrote before we drew the 10 frame, but Miss Barnhart forgot to tell you. So I'm sorry. So now I'm going to model. My first additive or my first partner number is 6. So I'm going to come over and I'm going to draw out 6 counters. So everybody get one of your crayons. Okay, and draw out 6 counters in our first 10 frame. So let's count it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Then we're going to model how to do 14. Pick up a different color crayon. Remember, when you're using crayons, guys, don't use yellow or white so we can see it, okay? And I'm going to finish out this row of my tens frame and then continue on. So I want the number 14 represented. So I'm going to start out with the number 1 with a different color crayon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay? So we should have the same thing filled out. But since 14 was a big number, I want to count and make sure I have 14 before I add it all up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay? So now I'm able to add. Well, if I look, my first 10 frames is filled up, and I know if it's all filled up, that means this is 10. But then I look over here, and I notice this is all filled up. So if this is all filled up, I know that it's 10. So if I'm thinking of doubles, 10 plus 10, when I'm adding the same number, that equals what? Let's see, what do we get? 10 plus 10 equals what? Let's count to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 6 plus 14 equals 20. And 2 10 frames filled up. 10, 20. If I count it by tens, 10, 20. So 10 plus 10 equals 20. And there we have solved it. Okay? Give yourselves a round of applause. All right? We're going to try one more. And you guys aren't going to erase your 10 frames that you created, but I am, because we're going to start another one. If you have room at the bottom of your paper, we're going to draw 2 more 10 frames. If not, you may use another sheet of paper, okay? Don't erase your 10 frames. I just had to erase mine because I don't have paper. I don't have a backside. All right, and then we're going to try to solve another problem. This problem we're going to solve is, let's do 7 plus 5. Okay, so I want to write that problem down. 7 plus 5. All right, and then we're going to draw our tens frames out. So here we go. Under it, I'm going to draw my first line across. And remember, I'm not taking up my whole paper because I also want to get 2 10 frames side by side, okay? So I drew a line across. Let's go over to the left side and draw a line down. Again, it's not taking up your whole paper. Just draw a line just a little bit, but maybe 2 lines down, okay? Then I'm going to use my 3 fingers if I need to, and draw a line down. So that's my second line I just drew down. 1, 2. Use my 3 fingers again. Draw down my third line. Use my 3 fingers again. Draw down my fourth line. Use my 3 fingers again. Draw down my fifth line. And then I don't need to use my 3 fingers again because there should be enough space. And I'm going to draw a line down for my 6th line. And then I'm going to close it off at the bottom. And that looks kind of crooked for me. So I'm going to try to make it a little bit straighter. Here I go. A little bit better. All right, close it off. And then I'm going to draw a line in the middle. And I have my first 10 frames. Then I'm going to go over, do my second 10 frame, draw a line across. It's going to be right next to it, but it's not touching. I have some space, got some breathing room. Okay. Then I'm going to draw a line down on the left side. So. Then I'm going to use my 3 fingers again, if I need to. And draw a line down. So that's 1. Use my 3 fingers again. Draw my third line down. Use my 3 fingers again. Draw another line down. So I should have 1, 2, 3, 4 lines drawn down so far. Use my 3 fingers again. Draw another line down. And then finally close it out by drawing another line down. And then we're going to close it out. Okay. And if there's any, okay, I did that little crooked. Okay. And then I'm going to draw a line in the middle as best I can. Okay. Now this is where my 2 crayons are going to come in at. And I want to show 7 plus 5. Okay. 7 plus 5. I'm going to start out with the 7 and count out 7 counters and put 1 counter in each box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I use 1 color marker to represent 7. Now I'm going to represent 5. And I still have some space left over here. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill this 10 frame up here and then finish count out 5 over there. Okay. To make it easier for me to count. So then I have 5. So now I'm going to get another crayon and count out 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then let me count and make sure I have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which I do. Then I'm going to take a step back and look at my tens frame. I know this is automatically filled all the way up, so without having to count each of them, how much does this equal? You should have said, if you did say 10, you are correct because it's a 10 frame. There's only 10 spots here and it'll equal 10. They're all filled up. But we can count to double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? Then I have 2 over here. So let's put 2 here. And if I'm looking, 10 plus 2 more equals what? If you said 12, you are correct. We just counted this. So that's 10, 11, 12. So we easily made a 10 and it helped us to count on 2 more to add 12. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Awesome job. Now, we're going to do one last problem. Ms. Barnes is going to help you make the 10th frame, but you're going to model this on your own, and then you're going to show, you're going to hold it up and show Ms. Barnes, Ms. Flemings, and Mrs. Martin your answer, okay? So here we go. This number sentence, let me think of one. Let's do 3 plus 8. What does 3 plus 8 equal? So write that number sentence down. And then we are going to draw our tens frame, okay? We're going to start out. So again, draw a line, not a big line, not too small of a line, and not a line that's taking up your whole paper. We got to get 2 tens frames here. All right? Once you drew a line across, let's draw a line down the bottom. Again, not taking up your whole paper. And I'm actually going to erase a little bit of my line because it looks kind of big. So, all right. Then I'm going to use my 3 fingers and draw another line down. I'm going to use the 3 fingers again. Draw another line down. Use 3 fingers again. Draw another line down. So right now you should have 1, 2, 3, 4 lines drawn down. Okay? Let's take another 3 fingers. Draw a line down. And then we're going to close it off at the end. And then at the bottom, we're going to draw a line to completely close it. And whatever is left over, you can just erase it. All right. Then you find your middle and draw a line across. So when you're done, remember, you should have 10 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? Then I'm going to come over. Let's do our next one. Draw a line across. Draw a line down on the left side. That's our first line down. Use 3 fingers and draw a line down again. So that's 1, 2 lines drawn down. Use 3 fingers again. Draw another line down. So that's our third line down. Use 3 fingers again. Draw another line down. So that's our fourth line. Use 3 fingers. Draw another line down. So we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines drawn down so far. And then we're going to use our 3 fingers and we're going to draw the last line down. Okay? And then we're going to close it. All right. Anything left over on the bottom, and here we go. Looks a little bit better. All right. And then we're going to find the middle and draw a line. When your paper looks like this, you got 2 10 frames. Each only have 10 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold it up and let us see it. Okay? So I'll give you a second. You're going to hold it up. Let us see it. Okay? Now, what I want you to do, pick 2 colored crayons or markers. I have my 2 crayons, markers. And I want you to model. Pick 1 color crayon. So if I'm going to model 3 counters, I'm going to use my red crayon to show 3 counters. And I'm going to count out 3 counters and draw my counters inside. Then I'm going to switch crayons and model 8. I'm going to fill this up until and once I fill this up, if I still need more to count out 8, I will come over to my second 10 frame, okay? So, what you're going to do, you're going to model how to use the 10 frames to model 3 plus 8. When you think you have it, you may hold your book up for us, okay? So, I'm going to use my red marker to show 3 counters. Then I'm going to switch off and use my green marker. You don't have to use the same colors I'm using. You can pick 2 other colors. And I'm going to finish counting off 8 more counters, okay? And then I'm going to add, okay? On your march, get set, go. Make sure you take your time and be very neat about it, okay?